that trumpet sound, boy, you don't wanna miss out. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in the Lord or you're out, the Lord. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you're out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in the Lord or you're out.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom. I'm not going to pull back in. We can get that show far out to be ready.
Yes, sir.
We're getting better with that, huh?
Yes, sir.
Visit Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Let's see. Can you see me out here? Is everything all good?
Yes,
All praise the Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. You got
All
any
praise the Most High.
you got anything you want to promote or shout out?
Man, I just want to start off by saying all praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, and His only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, man. Just, thanking Him for the endeavors that He been allowing us to, participate in. Shout out to big homie Yurt, everybody down there in Hebrew business, Brews in the Hood, man. That was an excellent fellowship, excellent time just being with the Mishpaka and just expanding. Just all praises to the Most High, man, for the experience.
Praises. Likewise, we got some current events up on this stage,
Okay.
Got some current events.
Yeah, man. You've been filling me in on the stuff going on, so it's heavy.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that first one down there in DC, the DMV. Let's see what they talking about with this shooter.
This week, ABC's Jacqueline Lee explains.
Police in Washington, D.C., alongside National Guard troops in wake of the deadly shooting that killed.
Hold on, man. Okay, there we go. It took forever to pull up.
A National Guardsman and critically injured another, urging residents to be vigilant. On Thursday, in a Thanksgiving call with service members, vigilant. On Thursday, in a Thanksgiving call with service members, President Trump delivering the news of Sarah Beckstrom's passing. She was just 20 years old.
Highly respected, young, magnificent person. Started service in June of 2023. Outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now.
A sidewalk memorial growing with flowers and flags. The U.S. attorney upgrading the suspect's charges to first-degree murder.
This is a murder one, period, end of the story.
The suspect, identified as Ramanullah Lakanawal, an Afghan national who was brought to the U.S. in 2021 with a special immigrant visa and then granted asylum this past April under the Trump administration. The CIA said he worked with the U.S. government in Afghanistan during the war there and was highly trained.
They're very heavily screened, as you would imagine, both psychologically, mentally, physically, and they're continually vetted throughout their time working with the U.S. government. Then there's the additional screening when it comes to special immigrant visas. In order to get that, they go through many steps, many interviews, and of course, background investigations.
In response to the shooting, the Trump administration says it's halting all asylum decisions. The State Department has also paused issuing visas for people traveling on Afghan passports.
What you think about that, Art? What you think about that?
Man, just more propaganda and more just incitement to start these nation wars, man. We just clearly in the end times now, and it's about to be nation against nation.
Yeah, you see they say that he was trained by the Americans like they always do. You know what I'm saying? So they train their own enemies, huh?
That's wild.
The next one we got is the world. Some things been going down the last 72 hours with the Earth. So let's see what this talking about. Is it popped up on the screen, Art?
Yep.
All right.
Yes,
the Earth breathes and alive in a surge of fury motion, 5 volcanoes have erupted across the globe within just 72 hours.
We witnessed the planet's restless pulse, a dramatic display of nature's power that commands our attention. Is there a hidden signal which our planet is sending? We'll take a look at our next report.
A roar breaks the silence of Ethiopia. After 12,000 silent years, Mount Heli explodes into life. Molten rock sweeps into the desert night, painting the sky in red and gold. Scientists scramble to understand why this ancient volcano suddenly stirred from its prehistoric sleep. Thousands of miles away, Indonesia, home to more than 100 active volcanoes, is glowing again. In the last 30 days, Indonesia recorded 1,400 quakes of magnitude up to 6.4. The Pacific Fire Belt ignites, Semeru rumbles, then Sanjang API bursts. Hours later, Liwatobi joins in 3 eruptions in near succession. Indonesia lies in the ring of fire where 90% of the world's quakes occur due to interactions among 15 major tectonic plates. To the north, Russia's Bazimiani roars, blasting ash 10 kilometers into the air, a vast plume drifting across Kamchatka, reaching commercial air lanes. Pilots are warned, flights are diverted. It's a display of raw geological power. And yet, within the destruction lies beauty. In Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano glows under the night sky. Rivers of magma twist across black rock, the surface shimmering like liquid glass. It's the same force sculpting continents and building islands, the heartbeat of a living planet. Experts warn that these eruptions, though dramatic, are not linked. Earth's crust is a restless, shifting skin powered by heat and pressure, deep below. Each volcano moves to its own rhythm, guided by tectonic forces that have shaped the planet for 4 billion years. For now, there's no sign of a global chain reaction, just a sharp reminder that beneath our feet lies a world still alive, unpredictable, and endlessly powerful.
Boy.
You see how they try to play it down at the end?
Yeah.
They're like, it just shows you that there's no significant link between any of these. It just shows you that there's a extravagant ecosystem beneath our feet. Like
Yeah,
what? Like no, the volcanoes are erupting at an all-time high. Like they said, like 12,000 years for one of them.
yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Woke up out to sleep.
Uh,
You said woke up out to sleep.
man. So it's like the earth is crying out, man. I think nature's
Mhm.
crying out. Everything's crying out, saying what time it is.
Yeah. What was it? Indonesia and Alaska is under a tsunami warning right now from 6.2, 6.6 earthquake magnitude earthquakes.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
all that happened within the 72-hour radius of each other. So we're gonna see what day 4 bring when with this tsunami approaching them two places. Then the last thing we got Iran back in the building. Iran and dropping some bombs through the drones over in Israel.
Strike on an energy lifeline owned by a US-aligned Gulf nation. The message behind the attack, it was loud, it was clear, it was dangerous. The target? Hormor gas field, a quiet industrial site owned by an Emirati company supplying gas that keeps nearly the entire region energy powered. In a split second, drones sliced through the sky and slammed onto the complex. Storage tanks erupted, flames shot upwards, and the heart of Kyrgyzstan power, it stopped beating. Darkness, it spread like a wave. Within minutes, power plants across Erbil and other regions as well, they went silent. Officials watched the grid collapse by 80%. A staggering 2,600 megawatts wiped out in one strike.
Mm.
Hospitals switched to generators, homes went dark, roads turned into shadows. This wasn't just an attack, it was a message. But who did that? Now, here, Iraqi authorities say that signs pointed to Iran backed militia, the same group that have hit the United States bases and Western linked targets before. But this time they struck a facility tied to a nation friendly with both Washington and Israel. A bold escalation, perhaps a risky gamble, and a reminder that the region's proxy war is far from over. But thankfully, there were no casualties, but just massive damage. Dana Gas, the firm operating the site, is now working with investigators. Iraq is warning that the attacks look like it could tear apart the already fragile security architecture in the north. In the meantime, energy experts say that it could take days, maybe weeks, to fully restore power. So the big question is, was this a strike on infrastructure or a signal to America and Israel's partner? Because when Iran-aligned group, they hit an asset in Kyrgyz territory, and that too using military-grade drones, the message is not just about electricity, it's about power, real power.
All right. The
Okay,
floor is yours,
okay.
here, bro.
What you say, Yaki?
The floor is yours.
Oh, all praises, man. Just a lot of confusion out here. I just seen it was like a post or like a short or something of these like Israeli women, and they was on some type of live with some Palestinian guy, and he was like, hi, I'm Palestinian, and the women was like, oh, hi, peace, and he was like, yeah, peace to Palestine, and then they were like, oh yeah, no, and they were like, it'll be peace in Palestine once we kill all of you. Like that's what the women told them. You know what I'm saying? And like it's just like, dang, these supposed to be the chosen folk. These supposed to be the chosen people up. Them
That's what
talking
they
to folks
say.
like that, talking it be peace once we kill y'all. And it's just like, ain't even no peace over in that area. And we know that one of prophecies is when the true children of Yahshua return, there's gonna be peace over there.
Yep.
So it's like it just blow my mind how like all these things that said in the scriptures that people just don't follow and don't want to admit to, you know.
Yeah. They want to
But
keep
with these,
their money. You want to keep their money in power.
Yeah, but with these current events, it show you like that's why I like the current events because it show you like, dang, like that's what the scriptures be talking about, and that's why it's important to really follow the commandments is to keep you safe out here in these last days because you really don't have no other lifeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Current events gonna be the same every week. This different time, different new things getting brought out.
Yeah.
Even I know they've been hearing and dropped some names from that Epstein file. But I haven't seen the list yet. But I heard they didn't drop some names on that joint too. So I've been trying to keep up with them, but every time it'd be talking about everything else but that. But they be getting in on Patel, the FBI director, behind on a bunch of stuff. So only time will tell a lot.
Only time will tell. Well, all praises, Aki. Man, we wasn't here last week per se, but the week before that, we start speaking on them HellADayz, right?
Yes,
and just speaking on why it's not really good to go into doing those because these ain't appointed times of Yahuwah. Any times that we dealing with
your mic cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, they ain't nothing but Hasha time because do they know I don't even have a mic plugged in. So, but it was the post, the lady talking about killing the Palestinians. Then I seen another post, folks talking about, they was keeping Thanksgiving and the real origins of Thanksgiving, how it was a Thanksgiving victory after destroying each little village of Native Americans. And then when Abraham Lincoln came in office, he made it official day. So I mean, I know this stuff might be kind of hard to talk about because the old slave Negro was brought up to love good old gobble gobble turkey day. You feel me? And but we was also brought up to love good old. we was brought up like that, so it's like it's hard to break away from that because man, let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it all the way going. You a good Hebrew Israelite man. You know what I'm saying? You seek righteousness. That sounds good, right? But what it looked like really unfolded, it make you look like the bad guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Compared to the world is like, oh yes, love, let everybody be free and do whatever they want to do. We like, hey man, we serving the Most High, man. You ain't gonna be able to do certain things. So here we have it. The way that they gonna express they love the most is on these HellADayz. They gonna pull up on them HellADayz. Hey, look, I might not be there for no time of the year. I might not even be around. But best believe when it's time to bust open that ham on that table, they gonna pull up.
Yeah. Guaranteed day off of work. Guaranteed paid day off of work for at least 2 days. You ain't gotta do nothing but make a side dish. And then come parlay with your family and take more than what you brought home.
And then they're gonna bow down to that tree.
Bow down to the tree.
Here's the thing, man. You can sit here and show people and tell people everything, and that's why, you know, now for me, it's just like, hey, man, get the info out there. Just do your part. Don't get caught up on who is gonna receive it. You know, that ain't for you. You just get the information out there as correct as you can.
Yeah,
you just do your part. You just walk your walk as correct as you can and be an example as best as you can, because you can literally show somebody the evidence and they just gonna be like, man, they not trying to hear it.
I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna celebrate it. God know my heart. I still believe in God and all this, and Jesus, but the works ain't adding up. The works is opposite of what the Most High talking about.
Straight up.
That the Son came down and walked it out. It's not adding up. So,
let's see something. Let's go to James chapter 2.
James 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, we there.
Okay. All right, let's do them down here by verse.
What verse you say out?
14.
14.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So right here it says this. It says, "What doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him?" So that's a good question. He's like, what benefit basically does it do for somebody to say they have faith, but they don't have no works to show it? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked, so then he come with the analogy, he breaking it down, he getting deep. He said, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, so he don't have nothing, he down bad, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, and then be gone and be healed and be full, be in peace, shalom. Be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needed to the body. What doeth it profit? So he's like, you telling somebody, hey man, walk out there, you be blessed, you be, you know what I'm saying, kind of like the church.
I was just about to say that.
Real talk.
I just
That's how they do, huh?
Because
like, you know,
it remind me of Joe Osteen back when they had that flood down there in Texas, in Houston. Nah, he's in Houston or Dallas, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, and he wouldn't open them doors for him. He said, "Man, you got the space. You let these people in. I ain't letting them people in here." But that's the church for God's people, right?
Yeah.
Your house is safe. You ain't buy no water.
Yeah.
That's what that verse right there remind me of.
And that's what they're here to do. They're here to pray on the weak. You know, It's a even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, I have works. At verse 18, it said, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
he said,
read this
I'm going to.
yesterday.
What you say,
I read this to Ebony yesterday, 18 to 23.
That's important though, because he said, show me. A man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works. Show me your faith without showing me your works.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you my faith by my works.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. They're going to give you an example. They're going to give you an example. All
right, verse 19. Thou believest that there is one Elohim, thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Dang. It says, was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed Elohim, it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of Elohim. Yea, see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise, also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way? For as the body without is dead, so faith without works is dead also. So man, you know, just time to really just I just think it's time just to really decide, like, are you just gonna keep it real or not in these last days? Because like it's easy to see if you're gonna do the faith or the works or the both, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, man, people just don't believe the scriptures. Really just don't believe the scriptures, because you know none of this stuff that y'all doing is in the Bible. You know, Christmas not in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the way that they think it is, but they'll fight. They'll fight, man, like they in the MMA fight with you, and they not even trained or qualified. They'll put it all on the line.
And guess what? They do fight. They fight every year. Somebody don't get along during these HellADayz. A lot of domestic pop off. A lot of shots being fired. Huh?
It's a lot of stress put on people.
Three people in the city died on the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
I think ain't that the day of Thanksgiving, 27th, or the 26th?
No, it was just the 27th.
But 3 people that died here in the city: man and a woman, and then a little boy. All gunshots. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen there was a not too far from where we was at, in Lafayette, Indiana. There was a police chase from a man from a double homicide. Up in Lafayette. You know what I'm saying? So they be fighting. Them spirits be fighting. They work together for a certain amount of time before they don't even like each other. Then them spirits start going at it and get each other up out of here. But you know, the spirits stay around, go to another host. Once it did the damage.
Man, like You know, that's why you gotta stay girded up, though. You know, because that's the whole thing. That's why they said, like, put on the whole armor of Yahuwah. Like, you gotta stay girded up because the spirits is maneuvering, is being shot at you, is trying to whisper in your ear, try to manipulate you. You know, these spirits they come alluring, they come dressed up like a harlot. But that's the same thing as, you know, anything, man. Most people, they gotta put a bunch of makeup on or costume on or something, they're hiding something. You know what I mean? And it's like, folks ain't just out here in the shadows hiding something because it's just so beautiful and lovely. It's because it's something to it that benefit them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some greed or some spite attached to it. So, like, you know, one thing about it, bro, growing up, they like, don't lie, don't steal, do all this. Then they like, don't lie, all right? Always tell the truth, love everybody. This is what they're telling you growing up. Then it come to these HellADayz, and we come to losing a tooth and putting a tooth under your pillow. They're gonna sit there and lie to you and tell you that a little spirit came and gave you some money and replaced your tooth from under your head while you was asleep. Now, ain't that a bold-faced lie?
Yeah. Well, here's a big one that especially a lot of folks tell their children. Don't take candy from strangers. Halloween come around. They go trick or treating.
Every stranger house I can find.
And half the time they don't even walk with their short legs to these people's house.
Yeah.
Go ahead, we pass back. You know what I'm saying?
Like, be back by such and such time. I don't know what they got going on no more. I ain't participated in a minute. You feel me? But I can only imagine that it's just not safe or it don't make no sense. I mean, look, like once you sit down and see how easy it is to seal some candy back up, you don't know what somebody doing.
For real.
All you gotta do is have a little soldering device, solder the bag back closed, or a little heat sealer. Press it down, seal it down. You got your poison candy in there.
Get that needle.
Ready to feed to the masses.
Yeah. It's easy to do it. Now, how they were doing it back in the day when we was young, I don't know. But some things got up in there.
Yeah.
But now the technology then shot up. So
they put it in there. And you know, that's just one aspect of it. That's just one aspect of Halloween, man. You know, and hold on one second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got this this book. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it says something of Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween, the history of America's darkest holiday. So it goes into a few different things. You feel me? This is just one aspect of Halloween. You know, it says this. It says but most Halloween depictions of blacks are obviously intended for white audiences. So talking about us, and relied heavily on a blatantly negative stereotype, the superstitions coon, as described by film historian Donald Bogey in his book Tom's Coons, Mulattoes, Mammies, and Bucks. Coons were presented as unreliable, crazy, lazy, subhuman, good for nothing more than eating watermelons, stealing chickens, shooting craps, or butchering the English language. So he's saying this is what most Halloween depictions of blacks were showcasing in their costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
This is also about Halloween. They say all histories of Halloween inevitably wind back to the ancient Celtic festival Samhain, or they call it Samhain, which marked the death of summer and beginning the Celtic New Year. The Celtics, comprised of a wide range of people, inhabited British Isles and part of Northern Europe prior to the Roman invasion. So they sound like some British Islanders, Northern Europeans before Roman. It says, and Samhain was one of their major sun festivals. You gotta pay attention to that part though.
Yeah.
It says was one of their two major sun festivals. The other, Beltane, was the spring celebration of fertility. So that's in this book right here. Halloween, the darkest. This is the history of America's darkest holiday. On page 20, it calls Halloween a sun festival. All right, so you know we're getting deep. We get deep, but they don't know we're getting deep because they don't know nothing.
Right.
But that's why we're here, to put some meat on their head, because they don't understand the significance of a sun festival because you ain't read your word. Look, let me pull this up in the book of Deuteronomy.
All right.
I believe we read this last week, but we're gonna revisit it. I want to say Deuteronomy 5, if I'm not mistaken. It says, let's start on Deuteronomy chapter 5. I'm about to just start at verse 1. All
right.
And it reads, it says this. And remember what we just read in, because we're talking about the HellADayz, dog. I know they're like, oh, let's get to it. Right? They're like, okay, we heard the current events. They're like, man, look, we had a good weekend with the Brews down there in Hammond. Man, turning up brick by brick, building with the Miss Parker. We did that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Huh? Now they like, hey, look, now it's time to get to this understanding. They saying, what's wrong with the HellADayz? They say, man, why you doing the HellADayz? It's the days of hell, man. These days is inventions of men, not commanded by Yahuwah. You're not serving Yahuwah by keeping these traditions of men. Like, I don't even know how else we can put it. We didn't put it, we didn't jot it. But if your heart is there, if your heart is with man, you gonna serve man. If your heart is with Yahuwah, you gonna serve Yahuwah. Faith without works is dead.
Dead.
You
sit back and buckle up. Sit back and buckle up.
That's all you can do now. You can sit back, keep yourself straight, and buckle up and see what's about to happen to everybody. Because you can't expend no energy on the next person right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's enough energy expended on yourself and on your family trying to keep yourselves afloat in these last days. You think you really got time to sit here and, like, see the message is going out. You know what I mean? Just like folks out here talking about investing in cryptocurrency and stuff like that. They're saying the message is going out. If you don't get on the wave, by the time it comes, it's too late and you missed the wave. It's the same thing with the Yahuwah wave.
Yeah.
The message going out to the four corners of the earth, like, hey, look, you know, there's a certain people who's the true children. You might want to listen to them a little, you know, and just a message of repentance, period.
Yeah.
But they don't want to listen, huh?
Hey, get down and lay down.
All right, man. So look, let me show you this Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 5. And it say, then Moses or Moshe called Yasharal, Israel, and said unto them, hear, O Yasharal, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. So he said, man, you need to learn and keep and do this stuff. Yahuwah our Elohim made a covenant with us in Horeb, and Yahuwah made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. Yahuwah talked with you face to face in the mount of the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahuwah and you at that time to show you the word of Yahuwah. For ye were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage. See, Mizraim is symbolic of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, no other gods, no other all before me. So look right there. Thou shalt not have no other gods before him.
And what would you just read in that book? It's a what worship?
It's a sun festival worship. It says, thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. The sun is in heavens above. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I am Yahuwah the Elohim, am a jealous Elohim. He's jealous.
Yeah.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. That generational curses.
Yeah. And
They put generational curses.
Yeah, and that's what we gotta break. Gotta break some curses.
You get generational curses on you by disobedience. So the only way to break them or to come from under that is to show obedience.
Yeah.
He's telling us right here, don't do some certain things, and we about to see if we held that up. But he said he's going to visit the iniquity of the fathers of the children unto the third and fourth generation, unto them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Elohim in vain, of Yahuwah the Elohim in vain. For Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So wait a minute, man. People sitting up here saying that Israelites Israelites. They sit up here saying our Israelites, Christians. Look, when I was in the 3rd grade, I had a teacher sit there and tell me, it don't matter what you call them. It's only one God. We all serve the same God. I'm in the 3rd grade. I know that didn't sound about right. I'm like, that don't make no sense. If everybody calling on a different one, that sounds like a lot. Y'all sit here teaching basic math. You know what I'm saying? Then you want me to go against logic and tell me that if you calling on a lot of different names, that I'm not supposed to see that as many different gods. If I'm calling on many names, that's many entities, that's many gods. If I'm calling on one, that's why they say Shema, Yahuwah Elohim, Eloheinu Echad. Yahuwah Elohim is one. And it said, thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah the Elohim in vain. So you're not supposed to just be like, oh, it don't matter what you call them. But that's what's going on. It don't matter what you call them. For Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. He won't hold you guiltless for taking his name and making it a light thing. Making it a light thing. And that also goes to be as if you are claiming that you are a representative of Yahuwah or of the kingdom of Yahuwah, Malkut, Shamaim, Malkut, Shamaim, the kingdom of heaven, then you are saying, I represent this name as a banner and I'm upholding the characteristics of the attributes of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? You can't just be out here just living no type of way, thinking that that's gonna, get you some brownie points to get in, just because you represent the name, but you're not a good employee. Right. We all got that person who worked next to us. We like, man, I really wish they would fire you. You make it hard. You make my job harder. So like I don't want to be. I've always wanted to be the person now where I'm like, hey, look, I want the person next to me. Like, hey, man, I like when you come over into my area and help me out, or I like if you're on my shift because we get it done. I want to put the work in. That's a good servitude. Not in Christianity.
No, sir. or any other man-made religion.
Or any other man-made religion. True that. True that. Yeah. So not in like you said, the man-made traditions, man, because it's like it just gotta make sense. This stuff don't make sense without really having a word in it. But y'all, if you haven't really dissected it and put it in its right spot, then how will we know? But he's telling you time and time again, don't take his name in vain. And to be vain, we're going to keep telling you to make light of. It's a serious thing. If that's his name right there in the text, that's what it should be. They shouldn't have added or taken away. They did both with his name.
Yeah. What was that? Revelation? Was it 22:19 telling us not to take away from the script? Revelation 22, verse 18 and 19. That's what that say. Let's read that real quick, all
right.
See what's gonna happen to them when they add and take away from the script.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, they're gonna have it coming though. And Revelations 22 and 19, right?
18 and 19. We'll do 18 and 19.
Okay, it say, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of this prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Elohim shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, Elohim shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the set apart city and from the things which are written in this book. It's a curse come on them. It's a curse come on them, huh?
Yeah. Big time.
And I believe it speaks on that in Deuteronomy. Let me see in Deuteronomy. I want to say in chapter 4. Because that's actually a precept. That's a precept right there. Four and let me 2. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2 up.
All right.
I'm gonna start at 1. It say, now therefore hearken, O Yasharal, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them. So he's like, man, we keep running into this like work mentality to do. So he's talking about teaching you something, but in America, they just want to teach you and just everything be, mental. But he's like, I'm going to teach you for to do them, so you could do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim which I command you. So he said, man, you don't add to or you don't diminish from it even back then. So this ain't never changed. It's never been supposed to be adding and taken away to the word.
Read that verse 3, y'all.
Your eyes have seen what Yahuwah did because of Baal Peor for what all the men that follow Baal Peor, and Yahuwah the Elohim that had destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto Yahuwah your Elohim are alive, every one of you this day.
Let's see what the Hebrew word is for Baal Peor. So these Hebrews know what it is. So it's clear to everybody.
I think it's like Lord of a mountain or something. Lord of some Baal Peor.
Strong's H 1187. Baal.
Okay, so they just keep it Baal. Okay, so.
Oh, they're not gonna tell you the Peor part.
Yeah, Lord of the gap.
The gap. Fall into the gap. Look at
the deity worship at Peor with the parable. so this it said deity. So this is a god.
Mm-hmm.
This is a god. So he didn't kill everybody from there. And the ones who worshiped him took him up out of there. And he said, if you made it, that means you wasn't worshiping him. You didn't get to see that fate. So let's not do what the other folks did, where they got taken up out of here. Most I said, get down and lay down. We're gonna worship these strange.
And what verse was that?
That was the strong.
Okay.
That was the strong. But I took the Baal Peor from verse 3. when it's first mentioned, it says your eyes have seen what the Most High did because of Bel Peor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was. I can get them to know who Bel Peor was, or what it was.
A false idol.
Yeah.
So like, let's jump down to about verse 9. I'm gonna jump down about verse 9, and it read, it say, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligent, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, unless that they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. And I mean, I think that's important right there, because if you don't exercise your spirit, sometimes you lose the gifts of the spirit, and some people don't rebound. Like some people you see that was on fire for the Most High, on fire in the truth or whatever, then like, I don't know, something happened to where they don't use it. It's like they lose it, and they never bounce back. Yup, you could lose that ruach, man, that fire. And it say, unless they depart from their heart all the days of their life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahuwah thy Elohim in Horeb, when Yahuwah said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And they came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire in the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And Yahuwah spake unto you out of the midst of the fire, and it said, ye heard a voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice. So he said, you heard the voice when all this was going on, when it's very scary. Y'all was scared to talk to Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you heard a voice, but you saw no similitude. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And Yahuwah commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahuwah spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Check this part out.
Yeah.
At verse 16, he said, this is the reason why you didn't see no similitude. Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make ye graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. So if you would have saw his similitude and you would have took it in your mind and said, oh, dang, this way I'm about to create a figurine that look like the Most High, you couldn't have done it justice. He said male or female. He said the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air. He said, no. The likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And these other nations got gods for all that. Mm-hmm. They got gods for all that. In verse 19, at verse 19, our kid, he said, unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, the what?
The sun.
The sun, and the moon, and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahuwah thy Elohim had divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. But Yahuwah hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance as ye are this day. So he said, you shouldn't, he said, man, he didn't even give you a similitude of nothing of what the Most High could possibly look like, so you don't accidentally even go and get carried away or worship any of this stuff that he created. But he said, don't worship the sun. Halloween, they just told you, it started off as a sun worship day.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pull up them slides, okay?
Yeah.
Because we are moving. This period of time is not a whole lot of feasts going on for Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? You have the Feast of Dedication, which isn't commanded by Yahuwah per se in the Leviticus 23, right? So it's one of them days where how can one say, oh, you have to keep it like this or you have to do, when it's not commanded by Yahuwah, thus save Yahuwah like that. It's more something that shows that it's okay to honor certain days. If y'all want to come together, if me and Abraham right now want to come together and be like, hey man, every year on this day, we're gonna do this for Yahuwah. Can't nobody stop us. I can say we doing nothing wrong and we made up a false holiday or something like that. That's something that we want to offer to Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If nobody else want to do it, they don't have to. If they do, all praises. We can lift up Yahuwah whenever we want.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about when we talk about these HellADayz. We talking about days that have nothing to do with Yahuwah. That somebody is trying to say, now I know that it don't have nothing to do with Yahuwah, but I want to redirect the energy and the worship to Yahuwah. I want to give him secondhand worship through this day that originally wasn't for him. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Like it's a difference between saying, hey man, we were spared as a people on Shabbat by, you know, Maccabean revolt, fighting back, you know, everything that's happened in history. That's a difference than saying, you know, oh man, I know that this day is a pagan sun festival day, but I want to redirect that and give praise to the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Like, no, that's
yeah. Can't, man. There was a Hebrew. I can't find a video for nothing. I think I was telling you about them Hebrews that was keeping the Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Had swine all up in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And praying, but you know, you look at this video, some of the women was looking like they was forced to keep that stuff. Like they was looking kind of off, but I can't find that.
They like, damn, we know this ain't right.
Yeah, I can't find a video for nothing, especially since I'm not on the book no more.
It's a bunch of people out here trying to make excuses to keep their folly up. Don't nobody want to really change and give up nothing. Everybody just want to, you know, everybody want to be saved without having to do nothing. It's like we clearly seeing that's not the option. But what it say on them slides, Aki?
What part you want me to get to?
All right, look, we can actually, I think we read it. Did we read this one yet? But we can reread this and then we'll go straight into the slides.
All right.
This is from the Holman Bible Dictionary. And it say this, it say one of the, oh, it's not. Oh, that's the one with all the slides.
Yeah, I want to try to go down and then it froze on me. Okay, we good.
Okay. So it's like one of the major Christian festivals. All right, one of the major Christian festivals. We just reading like this is what now this is the part where they don't like you no more. You're a nice man all the way up until it's time to take the Christmas gifts. Up until that point, you was a real nice man. You know, brother like that on every corner. It's this is for you Christians. Okay, this is for the Christian festivals. Christmas is the most recent in origin. It's the newest one.
Especially over here, since it
wasn't even around during the time of Christ.
Yeah.
It's new. Look, we ain't gonna keep them all night. We're gonna keep them all night, but for real, man, we gotta really just consider some things, man. Jeremiah 6:16, it says, "Thus saith Yahuwah, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." But they said, we will not walk therein. That's what they said. So like here we are, we're telling them, hey, look, y'all turn to the old ways. Y'all follow the feast days. Y'all follow the ways of Yahuwah. We want Christmas, the most recent in origin. They're telling Yahuwah by telling us as his servants, we don't want to hear that old past stuff. You talking about something ancient. You talking about feast days. That's ancient. We want the most recent in origin. It says the name, a contraction of the term Christ Mass, did not come into use until the Middle Ages. In the early centuries, Christians were much more likely to celebrate the day of a person's death than the person's birth. It says very early in history, the church had an annual observance of the death of Christ and also honored many of the early Mithras on the day of their death. So they've been observing days of deaths. It says before the 4th century, churches in East Egypt, Asia Minor, Antioch observed Epiphany, the manifestation of God to the world, celebrating Christ's baptism, his birth, and visit to the Magi. Now say this down here. In the early part of the 4th century, Christians in Rome began to celebrate the birth of Christ. So, I mean, this don't have nothing to do with the Bible, though, right?
Not at all.
It just says in the early part of the 4th century, Christians in Rome began to celebrate the birth of Christ. It don't necessarily, they're not giving us no scripture with it. I mean, they are later, but I'm saying like the Bible's not telling that. It says the practice spread widely and rapidly so that most parts of the Christian world observed the new festival by the end of the century. In the 4th century, the controversy over the nature of Christ, whether he was truly God or a created being, led to an increase of emphasis of the doctrine incarnation, the affirmation that the word was made flesh. John 1:14. It is likely that the urgency to proclaim the incarnation was an important factor in the spread of celebration of Christmas. It says no evidence remained about the exact date of the birth of Christ. The December 25th date was chosen as much for practical reasons as for theological ones. Throughout the Roman Empire, various festivals were held in conjunction with the winter solstice in Rome, the feast of the unconquerable sun, celebrating the beginning of the return of the sun. When Christianity became the religion of the empire, the church either had to suppress the festival or transform them. So it's like when Christianity became the Roman religion, it's like it's time to do away with some paganism. So we really supposed to be doing away with the paganism, but instead they covered it up. They covered the paganism up. The winter solstice seemed an appropriate time to celebrate Christ's birth. What? They just made that up. They're telling, hey man, it just is. We either got to do away with the holiday, or we gotta. Hey, y'all know a lot of people starting to celebrate Christ's birth, right? Yeah, they are doing that a lot. Now we might as well do it around solstice. We would have been popping anyway.
Yeah.
We would have been keeping the winter solstice anyway. It says, thus the festival of the sun became the festival of the SON, the light of the world. See, church year. So this is how they got Christmas into your church. They just transferred the winter worship into the birth of Christ. Oh, what's the next slide show up?
Let me see.
Because this was about to happen now. Because now we passed. What is it? Oh, this is some showing some evidence of early church fathers going against Christmas. I'll touch on it real quick. It say early church fathers like Origen, Irenaeus, and Tertullian did not speak out against Christmas as a holiday that was widely celebrated, but they rather opposed the celebration because it was not part of the early church tradition. See that Christmas was not part of the early church tradition and was often associated with paganism. You see that?
Yeah.
This is the early church fathers. Some fathers, such as Gregory, Nazir, and Pope, whatever, raised concerns about celebration of December 25th. It overlapped with pagan festivals and could lead to superstition. See, the earlier church fathers were a little more strict about their religion, at least. It says theologians like John Calvin, writing in as much later period, also argued against the celebration of Christmas because it was seen as a human invention that was not commanded by God. This is the early church fathers: Origen, Irenaeus, Tertullian, Pope Leo. Yeah, you can keep going down now. We basically already bust them over the head. Look at what about other fun facts real quick that contributed to the objection? You see that? Pagan traditions. Right here. Yup. Pagan traditions. The celebration of Christmas was often associated with pagan traditions, such as the celebration of Saturnalia, the feast of the unconquerable sun. That's what we just read in Holman Bible Dictionary, which made some Christians weary of participating in the holiday. Focus on other holidays. The early church placed greater emphasis on Easter and religious celebration. Christmas was not considered as important. New Testament teaching. Some early Christian leaders argued that the New Testament did not command the celebration of Christmas and that it was a human invention that was not part of the Christian faith. So this is, these people go put all these Christmas trees in these stores. Look at this right here. The phrase evergreen, Nimrod. All right, y'all know about Nimrod, right? You know about Nimrod?
Man, tell me about it, Mark.
Oh, yeah, I should. I'll tell you. Nimrod is who y'all celebrating on Christmas. They worship Nimrod on Christmas. Nimrod is really the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? Nimrod is the Antichrist, and his whole family structure is that of the beastly system. You got Nimrod, You got Semiramis. See, Semiramis. That's his wife, right? But you got this family structure, this child, this infant child, this Trinity. That's the Trinity. Nimrod's family is the Trinity. The Trinity is the Antichrist. And that is what y'all are worshiping on Christmas. So what's this say on this next slide? All right, let's go to the book now. Oh, no, let's read this evergreen. It says this: evergreen Nimrod refers to a pagan tradition. You see this? Linking the biblical figure Nimrod to the use of evergreen trees and gift giving. It says, according to this tradition, Nimrod's wife or mother, Semiramis, you see her? And I mean, this is, a whitewashed depiction.
Yeah.
But this is a book that goes into some of the history and some of the legends and scriptures about some of the things that they're speaking on, like this. So according to this tradition, Nimrod's wife or mother, Semiramis, claimed that an evergreen tree grew overnight from a dead stump, symbolizing Nimrod's rebirth as Tammuz. Now, Tammuz is actually in the scriptures. They were sitting there weeping for Tammuz. Let's go ahead and show them up. Because that's the whole thing. Ezekiel 8 and 4. See, this is the type of stuff they need to see. You feel me? Because it's like, okay, it's one thing to talk about it. Oh man, Christmas, whatever, Halloween is whatever. You can feel how you feel, but we talking about what the words say. So as we sit here talking about what the words say, then somebody's got a rebuttal. To me, they tell me you don't believe the word. Like the word is telling you, hey, look, don't take my name in vain. Don't take this lightly. Be circumspect. Be serious when it comes to this matter. And like that don't make you feel no type of way. Ezekiel 8 and 14. And it say this. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahuwah's house, which was towards the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? So if you thought this weeping for Tammuz was a good thing, because I know sometimes you can read the scriptures and get confused, and you be like, oh, that said it was weeping for. Let's see what he says. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. So this is an abomination. So the weeping of Tammuz is a bad thing. Right? Tammuz is a false idol. These women were weeping and lamenting for Tammuz just as they do on Mardi Gras. During Mardi Gras, this is Tammuz worship. Ash Wednesday. So I just want to show y'all Tammuz though in the scriptures. Back on that other slide. So it's telling them about the evergreen. And then we'll jump into this book, and we'll just go through a couple pages of this book. And we'll just keep continuing as we keep approaching the actual HellADayz. We'll probably be off of the topic by then. Y'all should have been warned and not wanted to even celebrate by then. We're going to be in feast of dedication mode. But I don't know what y'all going to do. But look what he told him. He said, she also claimed he would visit the tree on his birthday, December 25th, and leave gifts. So this is the origin of the evergreen tree coming in your house. It says origin of evergreen tree story. Semiramis, after Nimrod's death, is said to have promoted his deification, meaning like making him into a deity as God. She claimed that a new evergreen tree grew from a dead stump overnight, representing Nimrod's rebirth as Tammuz. The gift-giving tradition is legend states Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree on the anniversary of his birth, December 25th, and leave gifts upon it. This is cited as the origin of modern day Christmas tree tradition. See that? Worship and association. This story is used to argue Christmas traditions have origins in pagan worship. So, can you scroll down now? I mean, we just chopping them down. All right, we can just keep going. All right, we're gonna go all the way to the book. Yeah, all right, Christmas and its customs. You see these melanated deficient folks right here with these fake angels flying over their head in the manger. This is their depiction of the birth of the Mashiach, but by Christina Hall. So we just jump right into it, y'all. So we already read something about what is going on with these other days, right? Halloween. Look at how Thanksgiving is all about murdering and killing. Halloween is actually a sun festival. Christmas is actually sun worship. It says this. It says before the time of nativity, it says Christ was born. A very early Christian tradition recorded by Saint Christanum and other writers said it was on December 25th, but this was no more than a tradition, and many learned men disputed it. Yet, even uncertain legends. Yeah, you can just keep going. I'm gonna jump down to the highlight. It says December 25th was already a sacred day for thousands of people throughout the Roman Empire. See, it was not nothing special about the birth of the Messiah on this day. It says it was Dies Natalis Invicti Solis, the birthday of the unconquered sun. So wait a minute. I thought we believed in the Bible. I thought we was gonna do what Deuteronomy said in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and not worship the sun. But this is already connected to sun worship. It says it was Diaz, huh?
He knows my heart. We're gonna celebrate it.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, after all of this, after you bust it down like this, after you even, if you put it online and you're like, hey, look, go refer to the video that we did and we busting down, you can get the books, the resources, like they still not. So that's why I said, you do got to go into this, knowing that, hey, man, we're not about to change a whole wide bunch of people. Like, we just putting information out there for those who really care about their soul, who want to do right. Because you can do whatever you want. You can still call on JESUS. You can still practice, pharmakia. You can still be into the cards, the sorcery, and know this truth. You can still do all of that and still know this truth. But that's not being obedient. You know what I'm saying? That's not being obedient. That's like turning back to your own environment.
Yeah.
But look what he said. He said December 25th was already a sacred day for thousands of people throughout the Roman Empire. It was Dies Natalis Invicti Solis, the birthday of the unconquered sun. It was the chief festival of Phrygian god Attis, and also Mithras, whose cult was carried to Britain and other lands by the Roman army. No, wait a minute. We just getting started, and this is the connection already.
Mm-hmm.
It's already connected to other gods, sun worship. It says it fell between the week-long feast of Saturnalia, which began on December 17th, and the Kalends of January, which usher in the new year, and it coincided more or less closely with all those midwinter festivals at which the primitive peoples of Europe and Asia had celebrated from time immemorial, however you say that word, the sun's rebirth at the winter solstice. The church, by making it also the feast of the nativity, sanctified and renewed it, and thus, as Christianity gained ground, slowly but surely changed its ancient worship of material sun. You see that material sun into that of light of the world. It's just sun worship. Many of our Christmas customs have their roots in pagan ceremonies that were already hoary with age. By the 4th century AD, our remote forefathers decorated their houses with evergreens at winter solstice and lit bonfires in high places to strengthen the reviving sun in his course. So, and we can pause right there, because I think that, I mean, you tell me, I've been not celebrating Christmas for some years. I've known about all this stuff for some years, but when I first found out, it didn't just roll over easy like it's rolling over now. If I was to read that and hear that information, whether I believe it or not, that would ruffle my feathers. Because if I did believe it, I'm like, dang, for all this time, y'all been lying to me. And like, why was y'all lying to me? And the people that I trusted to was lying to me, the preacher and the pastor. Yeah, sure enough, that hurts. But my mama, like, it's to the point they got your mama and your daddy lying to you.
Mm-hmm. Grandma, and grandpa too.
Grandma and grandpa too. And it's a tradition of, well, you know we're supposed to lie about that. This is false idol worship. You worship a false man who jumped down your chimney and playing gifts. You know what I'm saying? You worship. You're saying it's his son's birthday, which is it's actually a pagan deity. It's the birth of the sun god day. So like that's why I said you can't secondhand give Yahuwah his praise. You can't deflect something off of something else and say, oh man, today we're just gonna honor the Most High, be some gifts and figure out a reason why some gifts. Or you can give out gifts any day of the week and all that, but you want to give it out on Christmas because deep down underneath that you worship the and you participate in the traditions of men, and you're gonna uphold those traditions. So I'm not gonna bring nothing else out about that book. So I mean, if you want to bring something else out, that's cool. But I think that's enough to chew on right now, just to kind of let people understand. We just now getting to the creation of the modern day Christmas, but we just went up under the surface and seen that Christmas ain't just. It don't start with Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a mascot for all these other traditions. Santa Claus is a mascot for all this other history up underneath Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So all praises. Like I think we've been going for like an hour and a half, man.
Yeah, I said that's good enough right there.
Well, all praises, man. Most High willing, that was edifying, but yeah, it's plenty more out this book, and this book is it's a good book to read. You can read this to your third grade students, man. You know what I'm saying? You can read this to your high school students or your third grade students, because it's all truth in there. Because this is a white lady who don't even, she's busting down their own heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want. You want sometimes their own people to tell you, hey, look, this is what I discovered. Because they won't hear from us.
Nah, we're not important enough for them to hear it from us.
Yeah.
Ain't got no money. Ain't got no influence.
But just like the Most High said, just like they said in the book of Acts, like I said, man, they found out they was unlearned. When they found out they was unlearned, they listened all the more because they're like, wait a minute, man, they not talking. They went to no educated school, but they busting this stuff down. And that's how we got to be in these last days, We'll bring the sources to you. These the experts. We're going to bring the experts to you because you need to know. But we really living it and letting you know, man, you don't want to sell your soul off for a Christmas carol.
Right.
But all praises, man.
That's what it do, all right? We do part 3 next week.
Part 3 next week, man. We got plenty more sources to bring out like that. And plenty more scriptures as well, and just kind of see how the Father feel about it, celebrating these bogus days.
Yes, sir.
Well, all right, Key, man, and to the Mishpaka. It's a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Busy shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I will catch y'all next time.